Dear friends, today I'd like to speak to you about something very common, which are the distractions in prayer. Let's see what Jesus says. You think that your inability to pray without distractions is an obstacle to my grace. Were that so, it would not have been able I would not have been able to sanctify a great number of those whom my church honors as saints. Distractions, when they are not entertained willfully, are no obstacle to my work in a soul. My grace passes through them to touch the center of the soul, wherein all is still and is in readiness for my healing and sanctifying touch. So Jesus tells us that our distractions are not an obstacle. That does not mean that they're going to stop us from union with God, because when we have a distraction, it means that our mind is not centered in Christ, in God, in prayer. So actually it is somehow stopping the flow of God's grace into our soul. But it's not that Jesus is going to stop. It is because we are not able to receive. So the distractions, when they are not willfully entertained. Okay, sometimes, an idea comes into our mind and we follow that idea, then naturally that is not good, because our mind somehow is blocking the grace of God and following certain other ideas. So willfully entertained means that we follow that idea. But if we try to avoid temptations, then God, Jesus, returns right away with His grace into our soul. And He says that He is able to go even through our distractions to reach the depth of our heart, of our soul. So really the grace of God can even go through our distractions. So Jesus is not going to stop because we are distracted. Then Jesus continues, "Come to me with a lively desire to surrender to me. That is sufficient. Come to me for my sake, to offer me your companionship and as an expression of grateful love. I need nothing from you. My heart's desire is to respond to all your needs with an abundance of spiritual gifts." This is here two important things. First of all, it says that He wants from us just a lively desire to surrender. The only thing necessary is to be at the feet of Jesus and listen to Him. He doesn't want anything else, just to surrender our soul, our mind, our heart at His feet. Then He says, "I need nothing from you." Very interesting here, because our prayer is not something that we have to give to God. It's not an obligation. It's not an imposition. Prayer, He says, is only just the ability to be in companionship. He says, "Come to me for my sake, to offer me your companionship as an expression of your grateful love." So this is very beautiful. Prayer is a companionship. Prayer says, just come to me, and I don't need anything from you, just you to be with me. Says, you just be my friend. Says, then it continues, "I am not a task maker in prayer. I do not ask of you anything burdensome or difficult to achieve. I ask you to offer me the companionship of a loving friend and the affection of your heart." So really, Jesus does not want anything extraordinary from us. He just wants to be our friend. He just wants our affection, the affection of our heart. I ask you to remain in my presence, content to be before my Eucharistic face, close to my Eucharistic heart. A prayer made with sleepiness and distraction is no less pleasing to me than one made in consolation and alertness. Let me repeat this, because sometimes we think we are not praying because we have many distractions. Listen to this. He says, a prayer made with sleepiness. Many people say, I fall asleep. Okay, he says, the prayer made with sleepiness and distractions is no less pleasing to me than one made in consolation and alertness. I think this is very important for us, just to give us the sense that Jesus is not a demanding master. He's just a good friend. And just look at the baby in the arms of his mother. He sleeps because he's so comfortable, so happy. At the same time, sometimes when in our prayer we sleep, just think that Jesus is very happy with us. He is happy to hold us in his arms, even though we are asleep. Beautiful. Distractions are not an obstacle to prayer. But Jesus wants our friendship. He wants to be just in our presence. And he's just asking of us, says, come to my presence, to the presence of my face, to the presence of my heart. This is what really prayer is all about. Remember, when you have distractions, don't worry. Jesus is happy as long as we are there with him in prayer. Bye-bye.